So towards the end of last season, I noticed you tweeted that you were stepping down as number 2, and you kind of set your sights on transitioning into first team management. What prompted that?
I felt that it was time. I've been at the club for 10 years and I felt that I progressed on, and if I'm honest, I've got my own ideas on the way I'd like to do things, and I kind of made a decision that it's time for me to step on and be my own person and improve myself as a number 1.
And on sending, kind of making it public, what was the kind of response? Who reached out?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate. I mean, two reasons really. One, I just didn't want to get to the end of the season and just disappear from the fans I've been involved with for the last 10 years. I mean, yeah. I saw myself as very close with the fans, and one that the fans used to come and talk to, and I used to see them all the time, obviously living in Maidenhead. And I wanted to give them an opportunity, and for myself really say goodbye to people over the last 2 or 3 games. Furthermore, when I made a decision to put that out there, I was quite fortunate enough. I was approached by a number of different clubs about the following season, about what my plans are, what level I want to go to, and what kind of job. And what I wasn't going to do was I wasn't going to jump at the first opportunity. I wanted to listen to what people had to say to me and make the correct decision come the end of the season.
So what made you pick Bracknell? So I know that you had several opportunities on the table. Why Bracknell?
I feel that it's a club that is only going in one direction, that's up. I remember playing here as a youngster on a dust bowl pitch on a big hill, and I remember coming in having games waterlogged and all sorts, so I know the place very well, and I think it's clear to see for anyone from the outside looking in at the coaching staff and the coaching setup and the phase development and the pathways for young kids. It's fantastic, and to be given an opportunity when I met the chairman and I had a conversation with him, and to give free rein about how I want to do things, it was a no-brainer really. It's something I want to be a part of.
So I know that early doors, when you took the job, speculation out on social media, people saying, "Oh, it'd be a very, very young team." You kind of, your signings over the summer of whilst there's definitely a flavour of young. You brought in some real experience. So talk to us first about the experienced players you brought to the.
Yeah, I mean, it's about finding a balance, and I think people maybe underestimating me a little bit in terms of the players I know. I can go through my phone and look at my 1,500 contacts about players that I've communicated with and built relationships with, and that's another thing I'd say from Alan Devonshire. I mean, opposition players, you shake hands with them, you have the right conversations, and you show people respect, and you never know where you might need that person. Looking at the experienced players we've brought in this year, obviously you've got Daniel Brown, who's got a wealth of experience from Conference South to Ryman Prem last year with Beaconsfield. You've got Mully. Moles has played league football for AFC Wimbledon. He's won the Ryman Conference Prem. He's played for Maidenhead 16 times last season, so there's a lot of experience there. We've got Rob Sheridan, who's had 3 promotions in 4 seasons. He won the league above last year with Dorking. And then obviously coinciding with that, we've got the younger players coming in. Obviously Caden, who we've signed, he was QPR under 18 captain 2 years ago, played for the 23s last year and played 16 games in the Conference South for Welling. So he's a younger one, 19, but actually he's got a hell of a lot of experience at a high level.
So now talking about the players that were part of Bracknell's team last year, your Seb Bowmans, David Hancock, Scotty, Gator. How important was it to keep those players, and Harrison Bailey? How important was it to keep those players?
Yeah, I mean, it was massive. I was in a fortunate position where at Maidenhead we were watching local sides during the season, so I actually managed to watch, I think, Bracknell maybe 4 times last year, and I don't think it matters me saying, but we were looking at the likes of Ferdy and Seb Bowman that were catching the eye, and they were getting whispers about other clubs looking at them, so we went to look at them, and fortunately I managed to watch them, and there was players that I wanted to keep at the club, and obviously the ones that I wanted to keep I've managed to keep. There's 3 players there that have gone on to hire that we may have been able to do something with, that I'd like to have been around the place, but fortunately they've gone higher, and that's something I'd never ever stop a player doing, going higher.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Granty, Ferdy, Kensley, 3 players that kind of very much fit our profile, young, ambitious players. With you there, obviously as a club, how hard as a club did we try to keep them?
I mean, listen, we made good offers for all 3 of them. I met all players here during this pre-season, before the pre-season even started. I think over the first 30 days of me taking the job, I was probably here 28 days at the club, meeting players, shaking hands. I've probably spoke to over 1,000 different players over that time as well, and there has been no stone unturned. In terms of those three, I feel we made very good offers, but we're not competing financially with some of the teams in the league above. But what we do have, we have facilities and an environment that cannot be matched.
Yeah, talking about the environment, you know, the club, obviously there's two sides. I know the club talks about togetherness and one club, but you know, the academy that operates full time at the club, it's quite unique because they've got a full-time staff here at the club. How do you interact with them, the likes of Stephen Peters?
Yeah, I mean, I work with them all the time I'm here, and all the time I'm not here, if I'm honest. I'm on my phone quite a lot. I work very closely with Steve, and Steve's someone who's had a lot of experience in the game, and I value his opinion. He's got Liam also that I work with very closely, and a lot of the other gentlemen and coaches within the setup. And something that I always aspire to and always want to be is I want to be involved in everything. I want to know every single kid's name. I want to know who's doing well in the under 7s to the under 11s, from the under 11s to 16s and 16s to 23s. And I think it's important that there's a clear pathway from the bottom all the way through to the first team, and that has to be the end goal. Obviously you may have a few gems that are going to go into league football, and they go with your best wishes because you never know what happens in a few years' time. They may want to come back, but the pathway has to be there from the bottom all the way to the top.
I think what people can't see on this video is the room that we're currently sat in, is the whiteboards on the wall around us, is right from the under 7s up to the under 23s and the first team. Every name of every player in the club is up on the wall, and I think you know, how important is it to have that visual and know all of the players?
Yeah, it is fantastic. I mean, there's been a lot of names writing in, bits of rubbing out, especially on the first team board come start of the season. There's some very talented boys in this setup. Some really, really talented boys, and I think not only that, when you see some of the coaches' names, and when I know them from my time at Maidenhead, some really talented coaches, and I think in terms of the local area, you're not going to get much better than where we are here. I mean, if not, it's got to be one of the best, if not the best.
And coming across then to pre-season, how's pre-season gone for you? I know you one of your appointments, Matt Stannard. Just talk about that, because that's something that, again, step 4. I know when people say we've got a performance department, they laugh because we've been trying to be too professional as a football club. Yeah. Talk about that.
There's no such thing as being too professional. I think you set yourself a standard off the pitch. Matt Stannard, I appointed. One of the first people I appointed, and someone I really wanted to be involved. He helped me out when I was at Maidenhead at times. He ran the academy at Luton for 7 years, the Wickham Academy for 3 years. He's got a wealth of experience within that sort of setup, and not only just under 18s but also men's football as well. He's a very talented coach, and he's someone that I want these type of people around me, and I'm very fortunate. I've got coaches in the younger age groups all the way through to my setup that we're all on the same wavelength. We all want to progress players. We all want to be successful in what we're doing, and we're very ambitious and we're progressive, the same as the club. You can see the club's progressive, and we are also. As I say, Matt's got a wealth of experience, and he comes in and fits very, very nicely alongside myself, Butch and Aaron as well.
And talk to me more about the relationship or the partnership actually that Matt's set up with Surrey University.
Yeah, so Matt, again, Matt's got his fingers in lots of pies. He's worked with lots of communication, and it's about making things as professional as possible for the players. So he managed to get us 2 full-time sports scientists to work with the first team and within the academy setup. Alex Blakey and Matt Tabor. Alex was full-time with Fulham under 23s last year, and Matt was full-time with West Ham last year with the first team. So they've got a wealth of experience, and they worked underneath the senior sports scientists there, and they've come here now to lead the sports science program, and they've introduced some fantastic things, obviously band work, prehab, rehab, rehabilitation for players. They're doing strength and conditioning during pre-season, testing, they're going to do the analysis. Matt's furthermore on top of that worked with local companies, and we've now managed to acquire hydration, so it helps obviously keep you hydrated, obviously, and you take it before and at half time during games to keep you going for longer, as well as on a Tuesday and a Saturday we're taking protein now at their own shakers that they take in their bodies to give them every possible chance to succeed.
Superb. And then you just touched on your staff. Obviously, Butch is someone that everyone's familiar with, that's been at the club or followed the club for the last year. How important was it keeping him?
Yeah, Butch is someone I know through the ages, should we say, over the last 10 years. He ran the JMA programme. I know he's obviously been at a few different clubs as well. And young players, you kind of get a feel of people from speaking to players, and he's always been very, very positive. And I met him at the club and we had a chat, and very quickly my trust, and he's someone I wanted to be a part of what we were doing. Being a part of it for last year, the integrity then comes through and we stay together, and it's keeping the relationships between the fans, between the players, the existing players, and it's gelling everything together, and he's fitted like a glove.
Someone that's a bit more familiar to you is Aaron Steadman,
Yep.
Steaders. So he's worked with you. He's worked with you for how long now?
Probably about 8 years. He's worked at the club at Maidenhead Utd. So he was the assistant with me in the under-18s. When I made the jump into the first team, he took over and ran the reserve side that were very successful. And latterly, he's been at Ascot and he's been very successful there, bringing through a lot of players.
Superb. So, kind of rolling on, it's that tough question that no one really wants to answer. But what's your target for the season, or what's your goal or aim?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd be lying to anyone if I didn't say I wanted to be successful, because I'm a very progressive person, and I want to do well. And there's nobody that's going to put any more pressure on myself than myself. So in terms of being successful, I mean, first and foremost, I want to go into the season and start well. I want to win games. I feel that we've got a squad capable of being right up there come the end of the season, and it's about building the relationship with the fans. It's about gelling the team together, and there's a lot of things that need to go coincide together to be successful. I think possibly we'll be in a better position come the end of September to make an assumption of what we want to do, but I can tell people we're in for a very good season.
Superb. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.